Today I want to tell you a story told by Jesus, who was the greatest teacher and the greatest storyteller of all time. It's found in Matthew chapter 13, verse 44. Yes, it's a very short story. It's a parable, actually, but it has a big message, as all his stories do. So let's take a look at one man and one field and one priceless treasure. Hello and welcome to Tales from the Scrypt. I'm Louis Marsh, Senior Pastor of River Church in Parker, Arizona. Each week I'll be sharing stories with you from different parts of the Bible. I'll be dramatizing these stories in the hopes that your imagination will be captured and your thinking challenged by some of the greatest stories ever told. The story begins with a man who was looking to buy a field. Now, Jesus didn't give him a name, but we'll call him Nathaniel. That's a good first century Jewish name. Nathaniel was a hardworking man who, like most of us, wanted the best for his family. Over the years, he had slowly built up his business and saved as much money as he could, and now at last he was looking to buy a new field to expand both his efforts and, hopefully, his profits as well. While examining the promising field, he stumbled upon something that had the power to change his life. It was a treasure of incredible value. Now, we don't know what it was or how he found it. Perhaps a glint of sunlight off of some partially hidden ancient coins caught his eye. Or maybe, as he examined the ground, he noticed something that no one had ever seen before. Whatever it was, Nathaniel immediately grasped its potential and carefully covered it up again. He knew his big chance to get ahead and care for his family had arrived, but first he had to raise enough money to buy the field because the asking price was far more than he could afford. His heart full of joy over the seeming limitless possibilities, he raced home and urged his wife to take the kids and go visit her mother in the nearby town. "You've been talking about doing this for a long time, dear. Now is the time to go." Although she was puzzled by her husband's sudden enthusiasm about her seeing his mother-in-law, she decided to seize the moment. So she gathered up her children and left. Almost as soon as she was around the corner, Nathaniel slapped a for sale sign on the house. Racing inside, and he began to gather up everything that was in there and sell it all. His clothes, even his wife's clothes, and all the furniture too. He knew getting that treasure was worth the risk. If he couldn't buy that field, he could hardly imagine what his wife would do when she came home and discovered not only did she have no house, but she had no extra clothes and no place for the children to stay. Nathaniel had been caught up in this excitement, and he had been taught about both love and the anger of God. And as a good Jew, he diligently sought the former and studiously avoided the latter. But only second to the wrath of God was the wrath of his wife when she was angry. If this didn't work out the way he needed it to, he could not imagine what would happen. Her anger would be monumental. Oy vey. But the treasure was worth risking her wrath and the humiliation failure would bring. So Nathaniel bargained as he had never bargained before and got as much as he could for the house and everything in it. In a few days, he was the proud owner of a large bag of money, the clothes on his back, and that was about it. But would it be enough? So having liquidated all he owned, Nathaniel set off to visit the owner of the field. He breathed a huge sigh of relief when he was told that yes, the field was still for sale. Then he and the owner got down to some serious dickering over the price. His palms were sweating over the deal of a lifetime. Nathaniel knew he had to get the price down to what he could afford, but not push too hard, or he might lose everything. "Don't get greedy," he told himself, as he and the owner went back and forth. This, of course, was a time-honored tradition in the Middle East, and both Nathaniel and the owner knew how the dance worked. The price is announced, a counteroffer is given, and then the back and forth between both parties goes on and continues until finally, at the last, the number is arrived at that both sides felt was either reasonable or the best they could do. After what seemed like ages to Nathaniel, the magic price was reached. He knew he could meet it and stop the bargaining right then and right there. He wasn't about to risk losing it. So he agreed to a price that greatly pleased the owner and gave the man almost every shekel that he had. The papers were signed, and hands shaking a bit, Nathaniel walked away, the happy owner, not just of a field, oh no, but of his future, all wrapped up in that incredible treasure. Now at this point you might be asking, okay, that's great, Louis, but what was the treasure? Well, Jesus actually answered that at the very beginning of the story, but I left that part out until now because I wanted to get you really wondering what on earth would drive a man to do what old Nathaniel did. Here's what Jesus said when he began the story, quote, "The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field," unquote, Matthew 13:44. So it's the kingdom of heaven? Well, I don't have time to even begin to explore all that means, but you can take this as a nice starting point. The kingdom of God is the rule of God, specifically the rule of God in our lives. Jesus said having that was worth everything, and the kingdom is worth any kind of sacrifice necessary to possess it. I think you'll agree that that's something worth thinking about. I'm Louis Marsh, saying thanks so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't. It doesn't cost you anything. And tell your friends about the show. We're brand new and we need more viewers. Next week, we'll be starting a 4-parter on the prophet Jonah, who's better known for being fish food than he is for being a prophet. Till then, God bless you. And until this time next week, remember that Tales from the Scrypt are stories you can believe in, and they're Bible stories for grown-ups. So long.